Welcome back. Now let us go to the past and see that what is the work has been done in the past. So let us look at the back into the history. And written history is started around 1950. So around 1950, Alan Turing and a few of his colleagues like Arthur Samuel, Frank Rosenwald, and few more people, they gathered together and tried to define that what is artificial intelligence. And as per the written literature, that is the first meeting where artificial intelligence was used. And see, I'm not saying that artificial intelligence was not there before that, but the few of the literatures which has been supported, it points out in 1950 in meeting with Alan Turing and his colleagues. It started doing that. And that time, Alan Turing defined something called Turing test. Turing test, in a very, very simple English, it talks about that anything that passed the Turing test, if it convinces the human being that other side is as good as any other human being. So you think that you are talking to the customer care, and on other side the person talking to you is trying to convince you that yes, this is the person and not a computer or any other machine. So that will pass the Turing test. And even today, we are trying to define many applications like chatbot and many other smart applications. And our aim is most that it should pass the Turing test. And Turing test is quite famous in artificial intelligence area, and people use it for their work. And this is one of the objectives which most of us try to achieve. And then in 1952, Arthur Samuel, he wrote one program, game of checkers, and he started playing game of checkers with IBM machine. So he was playing the game of checkers with IBM machine and the program he has written. So what he was trying to teach the machine to play the game of checkers with him. And Arthur Samuel only had given the definition of machine learning that time. He said the ability of computers to learn without being explicitly programmed. Please note the word explicitly. It means the computer should be able to learn without being programmed or without being told. This is what the machine learning is all about. This was the definition given by Arthur Samuel, and that is around 1952. And in 1957, Frank Rosenblatt, he invented neural network. This neural network was similar to the brain simulation, and somehow it did not become much famous that time, but now it has become very famous, and it is one of the strong backbone of the deep learning. And the deep learning has been the most of the known talked about the things as of today. In 1967, nearest neighbor was invented, and the most famous application of nearest neighbor was to map a route for the traveling salesperson. I hope you recollect that this was the problem almost all of us are aware of, that a salesman person has to visit a multiple city or multiple places within one city. What should be the map so that he make a minimum number of visits and cover all the points. So this was one of the also important invention, and nearest neighbor is even learned today, and it is one of the very, very important unsupervised technique. In 1979, few of the PhD students, they have invented a Stanford card. So it was similar to the a small drone kind of situation, although it was not flying, or remote controlled car that used to navigate the obstacles in a room or somewhere. on its own. So it was smart enough to move in a room or someplace on its own without much help. And this was also one of the known things in the history. And then 1997, I think most of us still remember that Garry Kasparov, he played the chess game with another IBM machine named as Deep Blue. And this was the known thing, I think few of you are able to recollect. So except once every time, Deep Blue had defeated Garry Kasparov. So this was a chess game, and this was very famous that time. And many people, those who like chess or don't like chess, they were aware of the situation. So it was one of the very phenomenon, and I have seen that, and I still recollect the craze of watching the chess game over the TV. Good. And around 2006 onwards, deep learning started making impact. So it is this is having a set of algorithms and that use the nearest neighbor, and it helps in the finding out objects, text, images, video, and so on, where it plays a very important role. And today, deep learning is the only technique through which you can do the image analytics, you can do the video analytics, you can do the text and image combined analytics. These are the power of the deep learning. So I'm not going into detail of the deep learning because that will be covered in the course of the deep learning. So that's all for the history of artificial intelligence. Thanks for watching it. See you in the next one.